All right, I don't know. This is take number 14. So let's get started. So in this video, I am going to walk through the advanced sequencer template that I use to build a template for Target Scheduler. And again, if you've not seen my video, I have one up recently called Easy Imaging with Target Scheduler. In that video, I offered to share my template with anyone that might have an interest in it, and a couple of people expressed an interest. So I thought I would do this video, and I'd put a link to the template in the video description. And also, I thought it was important to call out a couple of plugins that I use besides Target Scheduler. So again, Target Scheduler is the main plugin that my template is built around. And all of us probably have preferences of what triggers we may use. So I fully expect you're going to use my template as a guide, and then you're going to customize it to meet your needs. But besides Target Scheduler, for my sequence, there's a couple other plugins that I use. One is Remote Copy, and one is Ground Station, and then another is Sequencer Power-Ups. So let's walk through the sequence, and then I'll point out where I use those. So here is the sequence. And for global triggers, I have failures to pushover. And again, pushover is a service that's available through Ground Station. I think it cost me $5 once to get the appropriate API key and user key. And what it does is it allows me to build into my sequence places where I want to receive a notification, including if there's any failures, I want to be alerted with the priority emergency, and it'll play a siren sound. Elsewhere, it may just ring a gong because it's not an emergency. So I start with failures to push over, and then I start RoboCopy. And again, that plugin is going to be Remote Copy. And it allows you to enter a source of where you're writing your data to, and then a destination of where you want to copy it to. And if you look over here, it's pretty simple. Remote Copy has a Remote Copy start, and it has a Remote Copy finish. And again, as a typical advanced sequence, there's a startup area, things you might do, global triggers at the and stuff you do at the beginning of the night, like cool camera. So since I start RoboCopy, and then there's kind of the main body, and then there's what you do at the end of the night. So since I started RoboCopy, I stop it at the end of the night after, and I allow 120-second delay before it stops RoboCopy. So if any exposures are still being written or anything, we capture that. So again, I use a cooled camera, so I cool the camera. Now, I could put an unparked mount in here somewhere. I don't think I have that. Again, that might be something you want to put in. Generally, what I do in the beginning of the night is I check my PhD2 calibration. I do a 3-point polar alignment. Well, really, I do an autofocus. Then I do a 3-point polar alignment. And then I do I check my calibration, my PhD2 calibration. And after those things are done, I leave my mount in an unparked state. And if I were to start the sequence, I would get an error that the mount is parked. So, but I could build that a command in here, and I know some people build a command where they will move their mount to a certain point in the sky to do their autofocus. So there's a lot more customization you can do. I try to keep it simple. So okay, so I've cooled the camera, and then I have some additional triggers here. I autofocus every 60 minutes after my initial autofocus at the beginning of the night when I'm running the sequence every 60 minutes, and after temperature change. So I have that here. This DIY Meridian flip trigger is why I have power-ups plugin loaded. So again, that would be the sequencer power-ups plugin gives me this available instruction called DIY Meridian Flip Trigger, and where I can set some parameters here for minutes after meridian, max minutes after meridian, before, those type of things. But key to that is then I can also send me a notification that the mount is preparing to flip. I need to be notified of those things, and so then that's what this DIY Meridian Flip trigger does, and that's why I load power-ups. So I have that in there, and then I have a restore guiding command. So if PhD2 loses the guide star, to try to reconnect, I have center after drift. Again, these values that you might use might be different. And then I do an autofocus after an HFR increase. And again, these are the parameters that I use. But generally what I'm finding is the autofocus every hour is what really is what happens along the course of the night where I image. And then we get into some additional instructions here: set tracking, start guiding. Again, I don't force calibration because I do a calibration outside of the sequence. You could do it as part of your sequence. I like to do it outside of the sequence, and then again run an autofocus. So here is the main thing that makes Target Scheduler works, and it is the Target Scheduler container, and you will find that as an instruction here, Target Scheduler container. And basically I just load the container, and I don't, let's see, I don't think I have anything down here. There's a series of options that I could use. Oh, okay, so this is where I put my center after drift. Okay, I thought I had left it out of my sequence. Okay, so I've got center after drift there. Before wait, after wait, before new target instruction. I could imagine have it send something to pushover to let me know it's starting a new target. After new target instruction, and then after each target instruction. So again, I think here, I imagine I could drop in, and I hate to do this on the fly, but what do we got here? Send to pushover. Yeah, so I could drop I can drop messaging in here that after a new target, it sends me some type of notification. I don't do that, so I'm going to take that out for right now. But I think I'm going to look to leverage this some more, and yeah. So, but this is basically the container, and this container interacts with what you set up here as far as projects and targets and your exposure plans. And it knows what to do, because if we take a look at the scheduler preview, so my next night of imaging is going to be some time probably around the 1st of November, and we run it. Sequence is going to wait until 1920, and then it's going to start on the Dark Shark Nebula. And then after it finishes imaging that, it's going to spend some time on the Seagull Nebula. So, but all I really need is this base container, and I don't make any adjustments or anything in there. And then along the course of the night, as the targets get started, that's where you'll start to see the information here, where it is along its transit, what time it's expected to stop imaging on that target, and then item by item listing of the actions that are taken along the course of this target being imaged. So it's pretty cool. And then after that, I go into the shutdown mode. I stop guiding. I send a notification via pushover that the sequence is shutting down. I stop robocopy. I warm the camera back up to ambient, and then I run a script called End of Night. It's a script I got from Patriot Astro off of his site, and what it does is, I think I'll show you quickly here. If you have an interest in a script, you can get it from Patriot Astro, but I will make it available too if you ask for it. So let's go in here, and let's go into my robocopy, and let's go into. So that end of night script copies all these things over. Copies my PhD2 logs, my SQL logs that Target Scheduler used because it maintains a database, my templates, sequence, and here's all the various sequences. I should clean that out. A lot of cruft in there, a lot of old stuff. So that's what the end of night script does. It's a handy tool. Thank you, Chad at Patriot Astro. And so yeah, that is my basic sequence. I'll put a link to it in the video description. Just quickly, you need Target Scheduler. If you want to exactly replicate what I'm doing, you want sequencer power-ups, you want remote copy, and you want ground station if you want to use push notifications, like to push over. I think you can use Telegram. I'd go to that page, but then my keys would be exposed. So, yeah, pretty straightforward, simple sequence. If you see something glaring that's missing outside of the target scheduler container that you think might be a better value for me to use, or something I could leverage in the sequence, feel free to leave that in a comment. But that's about it. Yeah, Target Scheduler has made my life easy. I would also recommend copying Target Planning. It's kind of cool information. You can get it elsewhere on the internet or in Charles Bracken's books, which I have several of. They're excellent books, but Tom's also built it right into this plugin here, and it's available. So if you're wondering, well, how long is that target going to be available over the course of multiple months, it'll give you a view on a target by target basis. I used to keep spreadsheets and everything, and it was a nightmare. And just knowing how much I got to go on this target, like I added some more exposures to the plan. I only had 50 originally and it was still pretty faint, so I want to put another 40 in. Very easy to do. I can edit it, add them, and then it adjusts. Okay, so for my RGB stars, I'm 100% there, but I'm only 56% done on my narrowband, and so that updates it. This I used to have to try to track that in a spreadsheet and everything, but anyway. All right, target scheduler. Here's the sequence I use. If you have an interest, look in the video description. If you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up. Also, check out the Amazon links there. It's a great way to support the channel. You don't have to purchase what is at the end of a link you may use to go to Amazon, but if you do purchase anything within 24 hours, I will get affiliate marketing credit because you used one of my links to go there. And it's at no cost to you. It's totally randomized. I don't know who uses the links or what. So it's a great way to support the channel if you think there's some value here in the content I'm producing. All right. Other than that, thanks again for dropping into the channel. If you have any questions about Target Scheduler, a great resource is the Target Scheduler channel on the N.I.N.A Discord server. Tom Palmer hangs out there and several other experienced target scheduler users ready to answer your questions and give you help. So, yeah, if you want to have an easier night of imaging and maximize the time that you have along the course of the night to fit in as much as you can with reduced wait states and everything, and not have to build a 2-target template and everything, Target Scheduler is the way to go. All right, clear skies.